All right, here is page 2 of our study guide. Number 6 is write and solve an equation to represent the statement below. So this time we do have to solve it, just like number 5, but this time we're finding the final answer. So 15 times 32. This student says, I'm going to multiply 10 times 32 and add it to 5 times 32. So this would be a very good example of partial products, breaking the number up. 15 times 32 is the same as 10 times 32 and then 5 times 32. And we need to find that answer. So 10 times 32, easy to get that one, 320. Just adding on a 0. 5 times 32 might be a little bit harder. So if you look at that one, you might use half and double there. You can say 10 times, so we doubled that number, cut 32 in half, and you would get 16. So that's way easier. 10 times 16, 160. And just add those together. 0, 8, 4, 480 is our final answer. You could do partial products again if you didn't like to do the 10 times 16 if you did not see that, or you might just use traditional. I'm fine with that, 32 times 5, and you can just work out that section, carry your 1. There's your 160, same way. Or like I said, partial products, you can think the 5 times 30 is 150, 5 times 2 is 10, 150 plus 10, you also will get 160. So a whole bunch of strategies there to get to the right answer. And letter B, they're saying 42 times 25, use double in half. So 42 times 25, and we're thinking to double in half a number. Again, 25 is odd, might not be easy to cut in half, but we cut 42 in half, which is 21. Doubling 25 to make 50. And that's still kind of tricky, but you might know how to do that. If you don't, you can double. Let's see, we can double in half. Well, if we cut that in half back to 25, that's going back to 42, back to our original problem. So we really don't want to use double in half here. We can't cut 21 in half because it's odd. So we just need to figure out a way to solve this one. So maybe we just think partial products. We can do 50 times 20. 50, that 2 is in the tens place, so it's times 20, which would be worth 1,000. And then 50 times 1 is 50. So add on 50 more, and your answer is 1,050. Moving on to some of our volume, which is our next topic. How many 1 by 1 by 1 cubes are in this rectangular prism shown below? Write and solve the equation to show. So this first one, we have to count the cubes. How long is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe write a little note right there. How far back is it going? 1, 2, 3. And finally, the height. How many layers do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers. And then to find volume, we just multiply length times width times height. So 4 times 3 times 7. And we've been used to putting parentheses around here just to show that that is my base of 12. 12 times 7. So you have to work out 12 times 7. And I'd use partial products here, so I get 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 2 is 14. And there's your final answer of 84. We have a student that likes to multiply his 12s by breaking the 12 into saying, instead of 10 and 2, they say I'm going to do 6, 6, and 6. Make 12. So then they have 6 times 7 is 42. 6 times 7 again is 42. So it'll look like this. 6 times 7, add on 6 times 7. You get 42 plus 42, which is still 84. So they break the 12 into 6 and 6, which is awesome. Part B, this time we don't have to count the cubes. They actually give you the dimensions, which makes it even easier. No counting the cubes. All we need to do is length times width times height. 6 times 2 is our base with 5 layers, 5 high. So we have 12 times 5, but we know that we could also make 10 first. 10 times 6, which would give you 60. So 60, maybe we should have wrote on letter A as well, 60 units cube, because we're filling this up with cubes. And the last one on this page is number 8. Brad counted the number of balls in one layer box He found there were 24. The box has 9 layers. How many balls can the box hold? Show your work. So just same thing we've been talking about. If this base is a 12, we find out how big the base is, 12, and just multiply it by the height. So we know that the base in this one already equals 24. So I have 24 on my bottom layer, and there are 9 layers. So we can do 24 plus 24 plus 24 plus 24 plus 24, or we know we can just do 24 times the 9 layers, and we need to just solve that. Thinking about the best method to do that one, if I use double and half, we'd have to cut that in half to make a 12. That becomes 18. It might work. Let's just write some notes and see what happens here. 12 times 18. I can double and half again to get to 6 times 36. We can double and half again, and you get to 3 times 72. So 3 times 72, maybe a little bit easier than that problem. Or you could just, if you don't want to do it that method, you could have just started with, partial products. What we talked about, 9 times 20. Get your answer, 9 times 4, add them together. So we'll show both. The 3 times 72, so we'll say 70 times 3 would be 210. And then 3 times 2 is 6. So that would give us 216 using half and double. We got all the way down to here and got 216. If you use partial products, you'd get 9 times 20, which is 180. 9 times 4, which is 36. Add them together, and we have 216. And the question said, how many balls can the box hold? 216 balls. Okay, there's page